It's time for the Twerkulator. It's time for the Twerkulator. Y'all already know what time it is. I got the black V-neck on. Y'all, girl, drag me down boots, but it's not my fault. It's not my fault. But what's going on, y'all? Welcome to another Kingeries video. We have some things to talk about. I know we have some things to talk about because I ain't been gone this weekend. It's a Friday and I'm throwing paper. Hey, I hope y'all throwing paper. I'm throwing paper and titties. I got my favorite shirt. I love the shirt. I gotta get some more of these linen shirts. Period. But we got so much to talk about. This is going to be a two-part video for Kingeries. Girl, y'all know, for those who follow me on Twitter and those who on the King's Guard over at Patreon, y'all know I've been busy, girl. Miss James, Mama Kingeries has been here the last couple of days, and I've been enjoying my time with her. Y'all know I love my mama so much. I always love my mama. So she came down with her, here to help me do this tour. I can't wait to tell y'all about that. So much stuff going on in my life. And everything went great. I'm a little stressed out about some stuff, but we'll get to that in the Kingeries mental health check-in that I'm about to do in a minute. But girl, we got some stuff to talk about, girl. Nicki Minaj is all on social media. Twerkulator then came out. Girl, Joe Budden podcast is finally falling apart. Chris Cuomo, we find out about him being trash, which I already knew. It's just amazing how desirability makes us see people. There's some things we got to talk about, girl. And Porsha out here, girl, she up here loving up on Mr. Simon, and girl, come to find out, Shamia hooked him up. So, girl, it's giving season, what would this be, of a Real Housewives night? I don't even know. But before we get into all of that, let's get ahead and get into this mental health check-in. So my mental health is up and down. Up, down, girl. It's a lot going on. When I tell you, I am so, like, I had an interesting week. I had so much fun with my mother. My mother came and visited me. She, I asked her to come here because I needed her for something. And her friend came here. Shout out to her. Hey, Miss Beverly. They both came here and we had a really, really good time. Girl, we was out at, what was it? Crawfish Shack in Norcross. And baby, Trey got a hold to my wallet because I dropped it. I know I dropped it in the bathroom and I used the bathroom. And instead of returning it, Trey gave it to his friends. They were all in there and they literally spoke to me and my mama, because my mama was looking at me and spoke. And they was in there swiping my American Express card. Baby, they was in there swiping my Wells Fargo card. They was swiping my Discover card. They were swiping. Now my major card, girl, she said, all right, this don't sound like this safe because, girl, ain't nobody out here. Justin don't go out in this area. And why would you be spending this much on a liquor, girl? It just don't happen. I only use that card for hotel rooms and when I'm going out to a nice, really expensive restaurant and I want some points. But girl, they shut that down, but my other cards, child, Navy Federal let that shit slide, girl. They burnt that thing right on up. And I ended up going to the liquor store. They used the card there, and I saw them, and that's when I recognized that I, dropped it at the restaurant I was at. So, it's no skin off my back. I'm not really messed up about it. I just wish that they would at least return my ID, because the ID is I don't like going to the DMV. So now I got to go to the DMV. For folks who stay in Georgia, how does that work, girl? I'm just gonna go inside. I'm not gonna do a replacement. I'm probably gonna wait till I move because I don't want to change addresses again and stuff. So I got an emergency ID card. One of my girls hooked me up with something like that a couple of years ago. But I got an ID card. But yeah, then I'm waiting on the IRS to send me some paperwork that I've been waiting on since the 29th and it has not gotten here yet. It is really ridiculous. It's stressing me out. But so, girl, on a scale from 1 to 10, how I'm feeling, probably a 5. So my mama just left. I'm going back down something, girl, but I enjoyed my week with my mother. I miss y'all. I can't wait to get in here and talk about some things, and we agree, we disagree, we drag, but we continue to watch and engage. I love that. So let's go ahead and get into the tea for today. Let's go ahead and talk about it. It's time for the Twerkulator. It's time for the Twerkulator. Hey, I love the song. So glad. Shout out to the City Girls for releasing their single. They got their stuff approved, and Twerkulator got released last night at midnight. It's a cute song, cute bop. I think it's giving very much summer anthem. It's cute, club thing. I love that. Y'all got y'all vaccines? Girl, we're gonna talk about that too. But shout out to them. Now I did see a conversation about they did a photo shoot or something, and someone brought up that JT looked lighter. And she's normally not that light. Like on the first album that they did, JT was not that light. She was dark skinned, and she's dark skinned. She's darker than what that picture was. But somebody brought up and said that in the industry, the makeup artists, often darker skinned girls, they paint them lighter, or if it's not the flash or the lighting, they make them appeal lighter. And I hate that we live in a world like that. I really do. But it's to make them more desirable, because we do not see dark skin, especially on black women, as beautiful. And it's unfortunate. So it was a Twitter spat actually the other day with somebody who was arguing up and down, just saying that, oh, this argument is in bad faith. There are beautiful black folks, there's beautiful fat folks. Yes, there are definitely some beautiful black fat folks, beautiful dark skinned folks, period. Black folks are beautiful, which is why I'm not one of those folks to call Simon Porsha's new boo thing ugly, because I don't want to participate in anti-blackness. I don't want to participate in this this shit that we've been taught. I'm just not interested in doing that. The same way I'm not interested in calling a black dark-skinned woman aggressive. Like, there are certain things it's gonna take a lot. Even when our card had came up and they were swiping it and it was, you know, stolen, I wasn't interested in saying, like, my mom was like, I think it might have been, I said, I need to see it. I need to see it, because I know that the world's already hard on black folks, so I'm not interested in being a black person. It's making it more harder, period. So, I saw the conversation. I hate that. I think JT is beautiful. Even when they were saying that, you know, showing her old photos and stuff, JT is a beautiful black woman. And I just hate that we live in this, like, this thing, but it just once again shows you that, you know, that's the reason why we don't have that many mainstream right now, currently dark-skinned female rappers, because they are not reading dark-skinned, like, women like that. And that's just what the thing. And there's some talk about, you know, city girls, you know, were made. Were kind of like, they kind of pushed Young Miami on it as a group to make it work, because they was not sure if JT was going to be able to do it by herself, and I would not be surprised. Doesn't mean that JT is not talented. I definitely think she's talented, but it's just the industry, and we have to break away from that shit. So that's a mess, girl. Let's move on to other female rap stuff. Nicki Minaj showed out. She showed up and showed out on the Instagram Live. I know it was a week ago. She got on there and talked about 15 minutes. Drake got on there like a groupie that he is. There is something interesting about Drake, and I don't know what to call him. Maybe y'all can help me. But Drake loves to be the center of attention. Like, he loves to be in a situation where he's receiving praise. And if he's out here doing the praising to you, and you ain't, you know, feeling it or whatever, he ain't gonna be feeling that too. I think that's what happened with him and Rihanna, when he was like, you know, Rihanna had got that award and he was making it about him. Rihanna was like, okay, girl, like, she didn't like that. And Drake pulled back off of that. Like, Drake is just, he's a groupie. He's just a groupie. I'm just so annoyed. But, you know, back on Nicki, they were both on there talking. You know, Nicki is, you know, feeling herself. She's been posting a lot of pictures. She's been looking sickening as hell. And I'll say this. I think that Nicki Minaj break definitely helped her protect herself, or protect her brand, as far as the criticism and the critique about her using her celebrity, her influence, and her resources to silence that black woman who had been allegedly raped by her current husband. I say alleged for me on this platform, because I'm not interested in being sued. I ain't got no money like that. But girl, y'all know what it is. I believe victims 100%. 100%. Y'all know how I stand with that. So, Nicki, like, they helped her, because it's just like ain't nothing happened. It's just like people started listening to her new music, well, the new songs that she dropped on. You know, she uploaded her mixtape on all streaming platforms. Itty Bitty Piggy, all those things. All the girls were reminiscing and feeling like, oh my gosh, it took them back. Nostalgia is one of those things, girl. Nostalgia is a powerful force. It is a powerful force. I think for a lot of folks, it's just, like, nostalgia works because it takes us back to when we thought that the world was not as cruel. I don't think you can have that much, like, nostalgia. Like, maybe we just remember the really, really good moments. But for me, it's that I didn't know that the world was this cruel, even though I was still experiencing cruelty because I was queer. Interesting. But yeah, so girl, Nicki, Miss Wendy Williams called you an icon, and Nicki responded and said you're an icon too. So we are seeing the cleaning, and we're seeing the PR around, like, Nicki Minaj. Like, it is working, girl. It is cleaning up her, like, her image, and I think it's, you know, let's see if she gives us some sickening music or whatever from it. But I don't think that there was a need for her to come back with this type of announcement. I don't think it had to. Like, we already knew that was coming, but I think that this made it like her, like, oh, y'all want some more of me, y'all want some more of me, you want some more of me, and now we can't stop her from posting pictures. She posted a picture with her and that man. I wish she would just stop posting pictures with him, but that's her husband. It is what it is. Let's move on, period. So let's talk about the vaccine a little bit. I got into a little bit of not a Twitter spat, but a little bit of a Twitter conversation with some folks, some mutuals, and folks I love and trust, and I like them, and I enjoy seeing them on my timeline. And I don't want anybody to take this like in the wrong way, but I've been seeing a conversation, you know, about where the pandemic is at and all of that. And I did a whole video about mask on, mask off. That's on Patreon. Check that out. Hey, Kingsguard. So a couple of people have been saying that nothing has really changed with the pandemic. The same stuff that was going on under the Trump administration is still going on. And I want these people to name those things. Because it's too broad for me. And I think that it's imperative that y'all do. I recognize the criticism. I am not a Joe Biden stan. I don't stand any politicians, not even AOC, and I like her. But when y'all are having these conversations and y'all talking about things have changed, I want y'all to recognize that there are people outside of your Twitterverse that don't believe that. And when you say things like that, it's not connecting to everyday Americans. Like, and I see folks do this a lot on social media, and I'm like, y'all have like built this bubble around y'all that y'all don't understand that folks don't believe that. And doesn't mean that, you know, we should be toning ourselves down to make folks believe. It's just a lot of people believe that things have changed under the Biden administration. And I am one of those folks. Some of the same stuff, of course, the shit with Israel and Palestine, a mess. Shit that's going on everywhere else, the same stuff. There is not going to be any president that is not going to be out here bombing folks. And you already know my thoughts on that. But I am one of them folks that I wanted my people to get out of COVID-19. It was really taking black folks through there. The vaccine rollout was a mess under the Trump administration. They did not have anything set up. They were not prepared. This administration was literally fighting a couple of battles, and none of them had anything to do with the pandemic. They were anti-mask. They were not interested in folks wearing masks. They were not interested in pushing it or even supporting. They were not interested in shutdowns. Joe Biden's not interested in shutdowns either. He's not. So I get some of the criticism, but we was in this shit deep a couple of months ago. Like, we was in here deep. I just do not believe, I'm sorry, I do not believe if we had the previous administration that we will be having vaccine rolled out like we did. I just don't believe that. I'm looking at the data, I'm looking at the stuff, I'm just like, I don't see it. I don't see the things that y'all naming. Like, yes, the healthcare, all these things are messed up. This messed up before Joe Biden got in office. It will continue to be messed up. As long as we are like making people pay to go to the emergency room, making folks pay to like get healthcare. Healthcare should be a human right. Like that should be a human right. Like that we should have access. All of us should, no matter where or how much money you make or any of those things. But we don't live in that world right now. And like that was my concern going into November. Like I was like, we have got to get this under control. This is a mess. The whole thing was a mess. And I'm just seeing some folks who just, and I'm like, I don't believe that. And I've been questioning myself, am I a bad person because I don't believe that? And I had to have conversations. I was like, I just don't think that, yes, I'm not going to say things have gotten better. We're still losing a couple hundred folks per day to COVID-19. But I think I've seen some improvements. And I think the criticism can be, not enough. Not enough. And I definitely support that. Not enough improvements. Not enough. Like, we wouldn't have been in this mess if healthcare was available to every person, whether they're working or not. If we didn't have people living on the streets, if we didn't have people working 9 to 9 to be able to just barely pay for rent and all this other stuff. Yes, disaster checks should have been sent out. And let me say this, because I had a couple conversations with a couple of friends, a couple of people who were just saying the unemployment stuff and it's making people lazy. Unemployment is not making people lazy. unemployment is providing more money than some of these folks will get if they go to some of these jobs. These people, like, yes, people don't want to work. Yes, that's not a bad thing. I don't want to work to pay bills. I don't. Like, there's nothing, like, folks say this like it's a bad thing, and I want us to recondition that. Like, I want us to recondition, yes, there's nothing wrong with people not wanting to work. There is nothing wrong with that. Especially for this bull crap that we get. These folks have been working probably since they've been on this planet. Like, girl, some of these folks, I don't think folks understand. Some of these folks have been working jobs that have been trashed forever. Some folks have been working since they were 13, 14 years. I was one of the folks selling freezer cups, cutting grass, doing all this stuff. Like, girl, instead of just enjoying, like, our whole lifestyle is revolved around work. Everything that we do is revolved around work. Some folks just don't want to. I would love to live in a society where we don't have to work like that. And when I say work, I'm not saying not provide and have a farm and like all that stuff, but I'm working to make corporations richer, and I'm not getting paid a fair wage to be able to survive. Because to be honest, $15 an hour ain't good enough. $25 ain't good enough. Like, it's ridiculous. Like like a one-bedroom apartment is averaging $1,200-$1,500 in most places. $15 an hour, it's not gonna be enough for somebody to be able. All they're gonna be doing is working. When you got people at the top making $1 million a month. Come on now, y'all. So I don't care about these folks sitting at home drawing unemployment. Like, I don't care. These corporations are drawing unemployment. We're not paying taxes. And I was listening, like, I don't want to hear that shit no more. I don't want to hear people complain about that. I don't want to work to survive. I don't want to do, like, to survive. Like, nobody should be doing that. This shit is fucked. Like, for real. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, we are so conditioned, like, yeah, you gotta get a job, gotta do this, that. Do y'all really think we supposed to be working 40, 60 hours for 60 damn years? Like, y'all really think we supposed to be retiring, and like folks are retiring and still going to work, working at Walmart, working at Renison, like working at McDonald's, working at 60 something years old. I've seen it. Because the money that they're getting ain't enough to survive. That's all it's giving, and it's barely giving that. Our whole lives are revolved around, and it's just like, to do what? To make who lives better? Because the damn show ain't mine. So yes, it's too much. Like, ooh girl, I'm about to ask for the asteroid, but I ain't want to mess up y'all day. So I just, capitalism is a disease. It is a disease, and it's a slow, deadly disease that has been eating us up. And I just don't know, girl. It should make me depressed a little bit, girl. I'm gonna have to move on to something else, girl. But yeah, those are my thoughts on that, like with the vaccine and all that other stuff. Like, girl, I want better. I want more. I want a lot of things. But girl, I just don't even know. Like, to be honest, I'm having some real moment. There's this situation that happened in Louisiana back in 2019, where this black person was pulled over by police, and he was tased, and he was dragged, and he ended up passing away on his way to emergency room, whatever. They didn't release the video footage to that, the body cam footage, to like yesterday, the other day. And the police report is saying something completely different from what happened on that camera. And I'm gonna this is gonna be the end of this video, and I'm moving on to part 2. This might be a little heavy for some folks, so if you might want to go ahead and end it, girl. But this shit is a mess. Like, I watched that video, and I cannot think of the person's name who's deceased, who died in custody. I watched that video, some footage of it, and I was just like, these police really just don't care. Like, they just don't care. I know that, but to see it, to see police just talk to this man crazy. That's when I saw that police officer arrest this white man for snatching a ticket from him and driving off. I seeing white folks get arrested, that's not enough for me. That's not enough for me anymore. That's not enough. Like, that doesn't bring me joy, because that same police officer will do something even more harmful to a black person. So like that, I'm not celebrating it as a small win. Some folk, but not for me. I want it to end. Should no one have the power to be able to take somebody's life because they got pissed off at somebody? That should not happen, and get away with it. If I get mad at you for doing something to me or saying something that did not cause me no bodily harm, and I get to take your life and get away with it, if I do that right now, if you piss me off and I take your, I'll be in the courthouse. There is a law, state law in Louisiana that says that police officers have to be, I don't know if they have to be, 30 days, they have to be investigated 30 days after the incident occurred or whatever. They can't be tried in court or nothing until 30 days afterwards. We were pushing for body cameras. That ain't, what difference does it make for body cams to be on these police officers when we don't get them to 2-3 years later? We keep coming up with small little things to change stuff up and to reform. There is no reforming this. I've been in this shit 10 years now since I've been paying attention to this shit. And I've seen things. I've seen Ferguson. I've seen Mike. I've seen all of the things. And I've seen reform. I've seen the black president. I've seen abolish the police, period. I remember when I couldn't even say that at the point, there's no reforming this. There is no reforming this. And honestly, when I say reforming police, I ain't stopping there. There is no reforming the United States. Period. There is no reforming this mess. And I'm just not sure what's next. Somebody get China McClain on the phone. Maybe she can get her God to come in here and clean this mess up. Because this shit is a mess. This shit is a mess. Like, girl, I can't. I really can't. Like, girl. This shit is a mess, like for real. Like, I just couldn't believe watching that video and they talking to him like that. And this is probably like the third or fourth report that has happened, that police said something happened recently. They said something happened and then the video shows a completely different story. Completely different thing. So it's not a couple of small apples or whatever. It's the entire institution. It's got to go. It has got to go. I don't know what will come better. I don't know what we're going. It's got to go. I can say that now, like abolish. I can say it with my chest now. Abolish the police. It's too much going on. I'd rather be, at this point, I'd rather be in a community to call somebody to be able to fight somebody off or do something. But girl, the police, they have got to go. They have got to go. Because they are causing more harm than they're supposed to do good. Period.